It's 4:30 on the 7th of July 2025. At the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, night shift lights glow in quiet halls. Then alarms break the calm. Screens flash with unknown tracks. Voices tighten. Defenders trust their perimeter, electronic warfare, and anti-air cover the skies. But attackers come fast. 10 FPV drones with shaped charges, 2 Neptune missiles, and an underwater drone named Marichka. Ukrainian special teams guide the strike. Russian Rosgvardia rush to react. One drone slips through. Sirens spike. A $50 million simulator, the core of operator training, takes a direct hit. Flames climb. Sprinklers hiss. Radios crackle. EW vans surge power. Tracers arc. A SAM launches and falls short. Shrapnel rattles windows. For 35 minutes, both sides race decisions. Hold jamming, shift guns, save the plant, or save the trainers. The reactors stay safe, but the brain that teaches people to run them is gutted. If more strikes land, this turns from a blow into a checkmate. Zaporizhzhia isn't just another battleground. It's the largest nuclear plant in Europe, holding 6 reactors and a symbol of control in southern Ukraine. Whoever commands it projects power over the grid, the rivers, and the political narrative. For Moscow, holding the site means leverage, electricity for occupied regions, and a shield against deeper strikes. For Kiev, breaking that grip shows Russia cannot defend even its most prized footholds. The facility sits in a zone scarred by artillery duels and drone wars. Trenches stretch across fields, but here the fight turns invisible. Signals, jammers, and remote operators watching screens far away. A clash that looks small on radar can swing millions of dollars and morale. At 4:30, Ukraine's 47th Drone Brigade and special teams launch a plan that costs less than a tank but hits harder in reputation. 10 FPV Screamin' Low with PG-7 VL warheads. 2 Neptune missiles rise from the coast, meant to split Russian air defenses. Beneath the river, Marichka, an autonomous underwater drone, glides toward docks, designed to rattle nerves more than sink steel. On the Russian side, Rosgvardia and air defense crews scramble. Jammers pulse at full power. Panzer guns rotate skyward. Smerch rocket crews meant to strike Ukraine suddenly find themselves targets. The stakes reach beyond weapons. If Ukraine wrecks training systems inside ZNPP, Russia loses the ability to prepare new operators for a year. If Russia holds, it proves its fortress strategy works, and Ukraine's raids are just noise. In this battle, perspective shapes the truth. Some call it sabotage, others call it defense. Which side do you think holds the edge? Press 1 for Ukraine or 9 for Russia, and tell us why in the comments. 4:32. The first radar blips multiply. Ukrainian FPV skim treetops, their small frames nearly invisible until they buzz into range. Russian operators slam more power into jammers, the spectrum already clogged with static. On screen, some drones blink out, lost link, dead in the air. Others keep coming, pre-programmed to dive regardless. Anti-air crews fire short bursts, tracers streak upward. A few FPV detonate mid-air, showering sparks over the compound. But the rest dive low, weaving between smokestacks and towers. One slams into the outer fencing, shredding coils of wire but nothing more. Another bursts against an empty maintenance shed, setting it ablaze. Seconds later, Russian defenders see new trails cutting the sky, the 2 Neptune missiles. Larger, faster, harder to stop. A Panzer locks, rockets hiss, and the first Neptune breaks apart over the river in a rolling fireball. Crews cheer, but the second missile forces panic. Guns spin, interceptors fire too late. The warhead detonates short of the plant, but the shockwave rattles windows and smashes doors wide open. Inside the control sector, the training team shelters, power flickers, and backup systems hum to life. The hit isn't on the reactors, it's close enough to scare everyone into thinking it might be. 4:37. The Ukrainian FPV hit their next targets. One finds a Smerch rocket launcher parked too close to a fuel truck. The shaped charge cuts through armor, ignites fuel, and a fireball blossoms. The crew has no chance. Thick black smoke rolls across the yard, turning the area into chaos. Russian officers bark orders into radios. Seal the sector, move reserves. EW vans crank signal strength higher, but overheating units spark and fail. The defenders must now split their attention, contain the blaze, save personnel, and keep watch on more inbound drones. The Ukrainian operators miles away watch feeds with grim focus. Each FPV costs less than a used car. Each Russian loss costs millions. Time and money bend sharply in Kyiv's favor. 440. More drones press in, weaving through fire and smoke. The first phase of the strike is complete. Chaos, destruction, and defenders spread thin. Sirens never stop. Crews rotate on the run, dousing flames and reloading belts as more dots bloom now. 443. The first wave is over, but silence never comes. A second surge of drones races in. They fly faster, more coordinated, some hide abate defenses, others skimming low through smoke. Russian gunners reload, sweat dripping under helmets. Every barrel points skyward. Every second feels like a countdown. Anti-air intercepts a handful, tracers slicing through dawn. Yet several slip past. One crashes into a fuel container, spraying burning liquid across the yard. Another slams into a barracks roof, ripping through shingles before exploding inside. The shock spreads through defenders. These aren't random hits, they are chosen targets. The plant itself still stands, but its defenders are stretched thin. EW vans run hot, jammers flicker in and out, crews shout over static, struggling to coordinate while fires roar behind them. A commander orders the compound sealed, but that means fewer men on the perimeter. Gaps open. Ukraine's operators see this in real time. Their feeds show smoke, flames, and Russians sprinting between cover. For them, it's proof the tactic works. Cheap drones forcing Moscow's defenses to chase shadows. 448. Russian troops adjust tactics. Instead of blanketing the sky, they tighten coverage, focusing fire where clusters appear. A few drones fall early, shattered before impact. The defenders breathe harder but stand firm. The line is bruised, not broken. 450. Secondary blasts ripple near the barracks. A stack of munitions cooks off with dull thumps. Medics drag survivors through ash, while firefighters push foam across burning fuel. Command posts shift underground, radios bouncing between clipped orders and static. The smoke turns gray, some fires finally lose strength. Still, the psychological pressure builds. Sirens never stop. Orders clash. Crews must decide. Keep shooting at the sky, or save men trapped in burning buildings. Each choice leaves something exposed. Both sides know one slip decides whether Zaporizhzhia stays in Russian hands or cracks under the weight of swarms. Moments like this draw sharp questions. Is brute defense enough, or will relentless strikes wear it down? If you believe Ukraine's swarm tactics can break the fortress, press 1. If you think Russia's defenses will hold, press 9. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss what happens next. 455. Just as defenders begin to stabilize, a new sound cuts through the chaos, a thinner buzz, lower to the ground. Operators glance at their screens and realize the strike isn't finished. Smaller drones, faster than the first wave, skim close to the earth, hugging terrain to dodge radar. Their signatures vanish and reappear, too quick to track. These aren't the cheap FPV already seen. They're a newer generation, lighter, smarter, built to slip under jammers. Russian EW crews blast the spectrum wide, but the drones weave through gaps, switching channels in milliseconds. Operators curse as screens flood with ghosts. A commander calls for rapid fire. Anti-air guns rake the tree line. The night lights with muzzle flash, but many shots chase empty air. Then the first of the new drones hits a storage bay near the simulator, tearing the roof apart. Flames leap skyward, debris raining over vehicles. Panic edges into defense. Troops fire wildly, some at shadows, some at smoke. Every second feels shorter, every blast closer. Radios bark, hold fire lines. But it's harder now. The threat isn't above, it's crawling at ground level. Ukraine's operators watch with calm focus. This is the twist. Overwhelm defenses with one wave, then unleash another, faster one. Each drone that slips through proves the fortress can bleed. Defenders shift tactics, CIWS turrets, built for rockets, are ordered to track ground skimmers. Barrels churn, spitting tracers. Some drones fall in bright bursts, others still close the gap. The realization spreads. The next strike won't rely on numbers, it's about stealth and speed. And if defenders miss once, the next flash may hit something far worse than a simulator. 5. The last wave arrives. Dozens of ground-hugging drones burst from the haze, pushing through gaps left by overloaded jammers. The sky is scarred with smoke trails. But this is the closest fight yet. Every defender knows if they fail here, the plant's core systems could be next. CIWS turrets thunder to life, barrels whirling. Tracers cut the night into white streaks. One drone erupts, then another. The air smells of burning propellant and scorched steel. Russian gunners fire non-stop. Belts clatter empty. Loaders rushing to feed more. Still, shapes flicker through the smoke, too many to count. 5-3. A drone dives at a command bunker entrance. Soldiers fire rifles in desperation. At the last second, a CIWS burst shreds it, scattering fragments across the yard. Cheers rise, but are drowned by another impact. One drone slams into a substation, exploding in sparks. Lights flicker, plunging part of the plant into darkness. Medics haul wounded past wreckage. Orders scream over radios, "Hold the line, nothing gets through." But the swarm presses harder. Ukraine's operators shift drones in coordinated arcs, boxing defenders into corners, forcing split-second choices. 5-7. A Neptune fragment still burns in the riverbed. Nearby, Marichka's signal pings again. Russian sonar picks it up too late. The underwater drone creeps closer. Explosions ripple under the docks, tearing boats and ripping fuel lines. Black water boils up, adding chaos to the firestorm on land. CIWS crews fire until barrels glow red. Explosions ripple in quick succession. 3 drones down, then 4. But one reaches the simulator wing's edge. The hit shatters windows, sprays glass across deserted corridors. The training hub, already crippled, is struck again. By 5:10, defenders are exhausted, lungs raw from smoke, nerves stretched. The swarm thins, but the damage is done. Fuel fires, wrecked equipment, gutted training centers. Both sides know the line held, but at enormous cost. And here's the question for you. If you think Ukraine's relentless strikes proved unstoppable tonight, press 1. If you believe Russia's defense, battered but standing, still counts as victory, press 9. Don't forget to subscribe so you're here when the next strike comes. By 5:20, the sky over Zaporizhia quiets. Smoke lifts in heavy plumes, broken by the hiss of foam cannons and crackle of fires. The plant stands with reactors safe, but the ground is wrecked. Twisted steel, shattered barracks, drone debris. Ash settles on blown-out windows. Forklifts shove mangled panels off access roads, while crews tag live wires. For Ukraine, this was more than a raid. The simulator hub, the brain for training operators, is gone. And with it, Russia's pipeline for fresh crews at ZNPP. That gap may last a year. A strike costing a handful of drones and one underwater vehicle has crippled tens of millions in equipment and stalled Moscow's plans. Kyiv calls it proof. You can bleed a fortress without touching the cores. For Russia, survival is the claim. Reactors intact, perimeter unbroken, control rooms untouched. Moscow can say the defense held, yet the losses bite men dead, systems wrecked, training gutted. The fortress stands, but cracks spread through budgets, timelines, and morale. Strategically, the math is brutal. Cheap drones force costly responses. Each FPV costs a fraction of a missile or air defense reload. For every million spent to guard the sky, thousands threaten it again. That ratio shapes doctrine. Disperse assets, harden soft points, or accept periodic hits. The economics favor offense, and both sides know it. Abroad, allies and rivals take notes. To some, the raid proves Ukrainian ingenuity. To others, it highlights nuclear risk no one wants tested. Insurance shifts, grids worry, planners revise playbooks, redundancy for trainers, decoys for sensors, more counters to swarms. The next contest won't be about a single missile, but who adapts faster. Tonight's Smoke says, defense works, but at a cost. Offense adapts faster, cheaper, smarter. Another strike will come, only its size and timing are unknown. Your call, press 1 if Ukraine landed the decisive blow, press 9 if Russia's defense proves stronger. Comment your choice and subscribe so you're here for the next battle.